Hello! Today I'm making a set of 4 Easter cards, and I'm starting them all with just my card base, pre-made bases that I have on hand, because I just didn't want to make the bases since I was just using plain colors. And I'm also trying out these new things called distressed inks that I got for Christmas, but I just hadn't had time to really play around with. And I tested it for like a minute on a piece of scratch paper and watched like part of a video, so I felt not very prepared going into this. I was like just going in blind, just kind of messing around with this very, very soft brush. It is very soft, and I just want to rub it on my finger for long periods of time. Yep, that's weird. So there are different sizes of brushes, and I didn't really, from the video, I was like just rub it on the ink and rub it on the paper, so that's what I went with, and it seemed to work out for me pretty well, so that was nice. And the green one seems like the least pigmented of them all. Like, you have to rub the hardest to get the ink to come onto the brush. I don't know why. All the others seem to be like a lot more pigmented, I guess, and a lot easier to put it onto the paper and the brush. And I left out the red because, I don't know, it didn't seem to fit in with this particular gradient. And then I realized I was putting yellow and blue next to each other, and all the nightmares from childhood of putting the strip of blue in the sky and the little quarter of the sun for the yellow came back, and I realized I was gonna get a green mess. And I did get a little bit of green between the two, but it really wasn't that bad. So now I'm freehanding Happy Easter, and I don't really do any, like, penmanship, whatever it's called, lettering, really. Like, I've done it a few times, but I've never really pursued it or been very good at it. But I was in a very, like, freehandy mood today, or that day. I don't know why, but it's an ongoing theme throughout these cards of me just deciding to freehand things and making them look probably worse than they would have if I'd used, like, the Cricut or something. But I was just in a very freehandy mood, so that's what I went with, and a lot of things were very freehandy. And it is a little crooked, but, I mean, I'll get better at it eventually, so. Now I'm doing more freehand stuff with Arteza ink pens, and I saw something like this on Pinterest where it was like flowers surrounding the words, so I was like, ooh, that looks cool, I'm gonna try it, even though I've never been good at freehanding things. And it went okay, not like, it didn't go great, but I still like it, I'm happy with it, I like the color choices that I went with. Because, like, I don't really freehand anything, like, even with, like, my art and my sketching and drawing, I don't ever do any, like, pen sketches. I'd like to do that, but I just am not very good at it because I can't really freehand things. They just end up looking like a mess. So this was kind of very new and interesting to me to freehand something and it actually not be a hot mess, especially since I was doing it on the card, so it was like, there was nothing, there was no turning back, like, that was it. And yeah, I'm happy. It's crooked. I would have been happier if it had been more straight on, but there wasn't much I could do about it. I wish I put some, like, lines there to, like, keep myself more on point, but I didn't. And then I had these stencils that I also hadn't used yet, and I was like, ooh, wait, stencils, exciting new inks, let's see how that goes. And I like it, but I wish I had chosen a smaller brush. I think there was a smaller size, because they kind of blended together. I hit them like with the other colors on the stencil, so that kind of ruined it, and I don't think I should have gone with the flower pattern, so I'm kind of sad that I did that. I should have done something else on the inside, but again, I'm learning. These inks are very, very new to me. And so with this next one, I'm going in with more inks, of course, because I'm now obsessed with them, so all of these have the inks, and I wanted to do a cross one, and so I'm sketching out a little cross because I was trusting that the inks would just kind of go over it, and I was going to punch out some holes before I remembered that the flower puncher was actually broken, and I had to use the butterfly one, which was okay. I like butterflies. So I just went with all these, like, pastel colors of butterflies, pinks, purples, and, like, a salmony pink, I don't know. And so I want them to be in the shape of the cross, but I'm gonna, of course, need to make the cross out of the inks first, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna really go, if it was gonna be too blended or something, but it went pretty well. The green was, of course, interesting since it's so much, like, less pigmented. It took a really long time to get it to go properly, but I'm pretty happy with the front there. I had to blend it, like, make the cross first and then try to blend it all in. And so then I glued all the butterflies in. Yeah, you can see where this is going, just one at a time, into infinity and forever, just placing butterflies, and ta-da! It's done. And I really like it because it's all textured, and I really like texture things. So then I was trying to do the same kind of cross on the inside, but I made the mistake of accidentally using a brush that was still slightly wet from being washed, and it kind of like made it into like an inky paint sort of thing, and it made it really, really blotchy. So that was unfortunate. A very unfortunate occurrence happened. So I'm not very happy with the inside of that one. And then we made our light green writing pad, so you know the drill, making pretty corners because we do not like ugly corners. And I was pretty much going for all like the pastel and stuff since it's Easter, and Easter is kind of like spring. Easter, spring are kind of interchanged like together. I don't know. When I think of Easter, I think of spring and pastel and stuff like that. So this one was another thing I was like, ooh, I have this stuff. I've been wanting to use it. And I finally found an opportunity to use it because I thought like, I don't know, it gave me Easter Jesus vibes. I don't know why, don't ask me. So I stuck it on, and it was more like nerve-wracking of, will I get it straight? Which this one actually was straight, shockingly, like truly shocking. And it seemed kind of lonely, so I added like some glitter glue to make it like glitterier, like bigger almost. I'm not sure I like it. It feels a little too like messy and too like 5-year-old craft level, but it was so lonely. And so then I used another one of these stencils I got. I was just on a tangent of like new supplies, wasn't I? And used it as, I don't know, I used it with this pen to make like an inner pattern, and I liked it. And then I had to add a splash of color because it was giving me wedding vibes, and it still kind of does, and I can't unsee it now. But at least the pastel purple helps a little bit. And then for the last one, I wanted to see how the inks reacted with the brown paper instead of just the white/cream, to see if it would, like, I knew it would show up, but I didn't know how well it would show up. And I was actually really happy. It was like a different sort of look, but it was one I still liked, so I think I'm gonna try it like on, I don't think I'd try it on like colored paper, like red or orange or whatever colored paper, but I think like the browns and whites and stuff, I think that would all look good. So I finished that, and then I sketched out this bunny rabbit and wrote Happy Easter over it. And I used a circle to trace out the bunny, but the rest of it was all rest of freehand stuff, because again, freehandy mood. And then I started punching holes with this needle, because I'm gonna like use embroidery floss to like sew it and embroider it onto the paper. Because I did a card like this a few months ago. I don't actually remember what it was for, but I liked it, and I just remember it took a really, really, really long time. And it did. I don't really know what this stitch is called. It's either like a line stitch or a back stitch or something. But yeah, all of the embroidery together took a very, very, very long time. Probably like an hour and a half at least, just for the embroidery. And I didn't want to knot it obviously in the back, because that would be all lumpy and blech. So I just kind of left the strings. I'm going to glue them down later. And so I had to punch the holes for every single thing. And again, I really like the texture, because, I don't know, 3D depth kind of thing. I like it. And the letters were challenging because, I don't know, I had to like draw them out. And the eyes too, like you can see here, like they look kind of dead and soulless, and like, well, that's not good. And so we filled them in. Happy eyes. And then Happy Easter, like the wording's a little crickety, but it's okay. It's fine. Even though Easter gets progressively smaller, the word Easter. And so I pretty much just pasted them all down and stuck them together, hoping that it wouldn't be too lumpy on the inside. And yeah, it was pretty straightforward. And then I was impatient, so I used a heat gun to like make it dry faster, because I didn't want to go and wait. So yeah, and then I'm evening out the sides on this one a little bit, because my little cutter machiney thing is getting a little dull and I need to replace the blade. And then we have a pastel yellow inside, and there we go. It's a cute bunny. So we have all of our freehandy stuff and unhappy stencils. But I really like that one. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite, because I really like the butterflies, because I like the butterflies, like making things out of them. I've done that before. But then I also really like the freehand one. But then I also really like the sparkly one. But then the bunny is really cute, and I really like the embroidery, even though it took forever. But I don't know, they're all just very nice. I like them all. I'm pretty happy with this set, even though originally I was feeling pretty uninspired when I started this. It turned out quite well. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching.